Okay, so what we are going to do today, guys, is first thing very small. Initially, I will start with our UDR. I'm not sure how many of you were able to complete the UDR practical, the UDR table, etc. If you guys were able to do it, it's okay. Otherwise, we'll quickly cover it. It will take 15 to 20 minutes, and by that time, maybe other people will also join. As soon as we are done with VDR, we are going to do Bastion today. Azure Bastion, one of the costliest services, what it is, how do we use it, why do we use it, I will explain it to you. And then we are going to do Azure Firewall. Hopefully these two topics we are going to finish today. Then tomorrow we can start with load balancer, and hopefully this week we will be done with Azure networking, so we can start with Azure storage. So we're done with compute, we are done with Active Directory, network we are about to finish, then we'll do a storage. Once all these four segments are completed, then we can move sorry, move towards migration. Once we do the migration, then you guys can start applying for the interviews, etc. Not as of now, guys. Okay, so let's start with
Uh, Sohail
yes,
sir, we
Prabhat.
missed on VMSS.
VMHS.
VMS, virtual
VMS, yeah,
machine
that
skills.
will be covered. That is a part of load balancer. That is a sort of load balancer. We didn't miss. Don't worry. This is what you're talking about, right? Virtual machine skills.
Yes.
Yes, that is a sort of load balancer. So we will complete that once we do load balancer. Hopefully tomorrow. It is a kind of load balancer. It's not that difficult, but very useful and frequently asked topic. And you can minimum, utilize 5 to 7 minutes in your interview on this topic. So this is very helpful. Right? So let's get started, guys. Let me see who else is joining, because these are crucial topics and I did not want anyone to miss. Hence, I changed the plan of changing the timing. That was only for today, by the way. And for tomorrow, we have the same timing, 3 to 5 p.m. Tomorrow, I myself have to attend one session, and unfortunately, that I have to attend as per the Microsoft timing. So I won't be able to make any changes there. So tomorrow we'll do 3 to 5. The normal session will do 3 to 5. Okay, I'm just waiting for others. Okay, one more has joined. Okay, guys, let's start. So as I said, we'll what we are going to do today, it's today we are going to check UDR, and once that is done, then we are going to check Bastion and then firewall. So let's get started. By the way, till now, under when it comes to VPN, etc., do you guys have any doubts, any questions, anything you want to ask or you want me to repeat? Till the time we are on network segment, I'm still okay to repeat something if you guys want. Before I start this and before we go ahead and finish this, if you need anything, you want me to repeat anything, please do let me know. Provided you have watched the video and you attended the session. People who have missed, please watch the video once. Like,
S-
yes. Yes, Anifai, tell me.
like I have watched the videos. I know.
So any doubts, any questions after watching the video and attending the session, if there is any doubt, that is what I was trying to ask. कि जिन्होंने वीडियो भी देख लिया, प्रैक्टिस भी कर ली, स्टिल कोई डाउट है तो okay, well guys,
Uh,
if there is no doubt, we'll proceed, right? Sorry, someone was saying something. Okay, let's proceed then. We have already waited for 5 minutes. We already spent 5 minutes in discussing. So let's start with the topic. Uh, UDR, which is user defined routes. We have already seen that why do we use it, hub and spoke model we checked, right? But how to perform UDR, how to create a UDR, right? That we have not seen as a practical. Where to use it, how to use it, we have done that already in our previous session. So I hope you guys do not have any doubts. But in the previous session, what we have seen, by using UDR, you are redirecting your traffic from one VNet to another VNet. Today's practical we are going to do using UDR. You are just going to redirect your traffic within the VNet from one subnet to another subnet. Simple. That's all you're going to do. Ultimately, you should know how to configure UDR. Now it's up to you how to use it. उसको कहाँ पर कैसे use करना है. It's very, it has very feasibility. Right? It has variety wherever you want to use it. Hub and spoke, use it on virtual network. The practical which we are going to do now, use it on your subnet level. Right? So let's go ahead and create 3 virtual machines. And I'll be creating these 3 virtual machines in same virtual network and different subnets. For practical, we need only only 2 VM is enough, but we need 1 VM to which we will convert or will make it act as a router. That is the reason I need third VM as well. I'll take Windows, so it will be easier for us to go and log into that. It will be easier for us. So let's go ahead and take Windows. Otherwise, we can do it on Linux as well. We just have to do the tracer over there, but you will not be able to see actually how the websites is being blocked, etc. So now, guys, if I create this one, first let me go ahead and I'll create this in West US 3. Here I'm going to create a new virtual network. I'm calling it as a UDR practical VNet. How many subnets do I need? I need 3 subnets. But first thing, let's get rid of this 10 range. Okay, let's stick to this. That's okay. We'll get stick to this. So one is my subnet 1, I would say, or I will call it as my source subnet. Okay. I need one more subnet. I will call it as destination subnet, because here we are uh, diverting traffic from one subnet to another subnet. That's it. That's it. We are doing nothing else. What will be the address here, guys? Why am I getting error, and what should be the correct address here?
It is overlapping, I guess. The
So
subnet
what should
address
be the
is prefix
current
overlaps.
address?
So
What is the next available address in this VNet? Say this is my VNet. This is my whole space of the VNet address space, which means I'm getting
004
65,000. Sorry. Yes. What is it?
10.0.0
10.0 dot
10.0.1 dot
perfect. Why 1? Because 255. Look at this. Here I'm using 24 cider, which gives me 256 addresses, and 256 अगर address मैं use कर रहा हूँ तो 10.0.0.0 से लेकर 10.0.0.0 255 तक, 0 को भी एक काउंट करता है, 255 को भी, इसलिए वो total addresses 256 है. So this range I have already utilized. So I cannot go ahead with 256. There is no number in IP address. IPv4 में 256 कुछ नहीं होता है. It ends with 255. Hence I have to go to this one. Okay. Now I want one more subnet. I'm calling it as virtual appliance subnet, because here I'm going to host my router. Got it, guys? Did you get it? What are we doing here? Just for better looking, I'm putting the network virtual appliance in middle, because what we are going to do from source subnet 10.0.0 में एक machine आएगी जिसका IP address by default 4 आ जाएगा. From this one, we are going to ping this one. And later on, we will apply the UDR and we'll make sure traffic should go from 1. इसलिए मैंने इसको बीच में ले लिया. Otherwise, कहीं पर भी रखो आप, it doesn't matter. Okay. So let's create it. And as of now, I'm creating source machine. So I'll go ahead and create a source machine. And I'll also name it as source VM. This is going to be my source VM, guys. Source VM, source subnet. Let's create it. I'm creating this. Now I'm going to create your destination or router, whichever works. While this is opening, let me open Paint and I'll explain it to you. What are we doing? The aim here is just to understand how UDR works and how to create UDR, right? एक्चुअल में ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट कभी नहीं मिलने वाला आपको कि एक वीएम से दूसरे वीएम पे आप ये करा रहे हो, बट दिस इज जस्ट फॉर योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. सो दिस इज माय सोर्स मशीन, this is my destination VM, and this is my network virtual appliance. These are three subnets or machines. Consider anything. Source VM 10.0.0.4. This will be the IP, right? Then this is my, we are going to create network virtual appliance VM. In this case, it is VM, otherwise it is router. इसका IP हम रखने वाले 10.0.1.4. I mean, by default, it will get 4, right? This is the range we are using, but first IP you will get as a 4. This is going to be my source, sorry, destination VM. IP address is 10.0.2.4. So before creating the UDR, if I ping from here, from source to destination, I'll be able to ping. And when I do the tracert, when I trace the route, I will see that my traffic is directly going, it's directly going from here to here. No matter where it is, but it will directly go from here to here. But after creating the UDR, my aim is that my traffic should route from here and to here. This is the practical we are trying to do. Is this clear to everyone?
Yeah.
And now don't ask me that why would you have the such scenario. You will never have such scenario in your live environment जहाँ पे सिर्फ 2 VM को आप ये करोगे, right? You will never see that. This is for your understanding कि UDR क्यों कैसे use होता है. Why we use it, we have already discussed that on a large scale. Hub and spoke virtual network, virtual network, spoke virtual network. You want to route your traffic, and today also we are going to use that in our next practical of Azure firewall, right? We are going to do that, but before that you should understand. Hence I'm taking it on very small scale. इसलिए मैंने multiple VNets को भी हटा दिया है, सिर्फ subnets को रखा है, right? I could have done all these in same subnet as well, but just to give you more clarity, I'm doing it at the subnet level, right? And this will never be a machine. In our case, we are hosting a machine, but this will never be a machine. Your network virtual appliance, it will never be a machine. Most of the time, it will be a router. Most of the time. Is this clear, guys, to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so now next I'm going to create is my network virtual appliance, or let's create destination. Destination VM. And when you guys create three due to quota issue, etc., please make sure you do not select the bigger size. 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU is enough. Here I don't have any quota issue, so I'm taking whatever it is appearing. But you guys will not be able to create three machines if you keep on capturing two virtual CPUs on each machine. Not sure if that will be allowed in your subscription. So make sure you take the smallest size in whichever region it is available. So this is going to be my destination machine. Hence I'm selecting destination subnet. And then simultaneously, let me create another machine, the third machine, which is going to act as a network virtual appliance. Normally it is not a machine.
Router.
It is, yes, most of the time it is a router. So I'm naming it accordingly. But just because I name it as a router, it is not going to act as a router. We will have to make those changes so it acts as a router. Very first thing what we are going to do is we are going to check whether these machines are pinging each other or not. So under networking, though this is not necessary, I can have all of those machines in same subnet, right? But let's say network virtual appliance subnet. So my destination machine is being created now. Source machine have been created. I'll open the source machine. This is going to be my virtual appliance. So very first thing I'm doing is I will be logging into my source machine. Do I have to do anything, guys, for these machines to talk to each other? Any pairing, anything?
Firewall
You
off.
guys have been watching it, right? I won't be explaining the scenario again and again. So you have seen where am I creating this? Do I have to do anything for these machines to ping to each other on the portal
No.
level? Not talking about the
No,
operating
Yes.
system.
they are in same we need and
Yes. I mean, I may have to shut down the OS firewall, but that's a different thing. That's not what I was asking. Right? So at portal level, no, we don't have to do anything. They are in different subnet, but still we don't have to do anything. Why? Because they are in same VNet. And subnets within a VNet, they can talk to each other by default. We don't have to do anything. Safer side, we are going to shut down their firewall. So these two machines are being created now. Let's keep this in middle. This is going to be our router. This is our source. This is our destination. Yeah. Meanwhile, if you guys have any questions, please let me know.
Suhail bhai, when I'm doing this practical, I was having issue with the public IP address. I won't get the public IP address at that moment. That field is, that field is blank at that moment. So I won't be able to do this.
Why not? What would you do in this case? First thing, you are not getting the public IP. Most probably the issue, I don't know, I have not seen it. But my best guess is because you are in the free trial subscription and that supports only 3 public IP and you are out of quota. Someone has
Yes,
created the
I
machine.
was getting that. Yes,
Yeah.
I was getting that error only.
Yeah. So please ask
When I
someone else to delete their machine or at least delete their public IP. That is one method. Another method, what comes to your mind? The practical which I'm showing here, I am doing all these 3 machines in one VNet. So do I really need public IP on all the 3 machines?
not
I mean,
required.
as of now, I know I have the liberty, so I've taken it. Can't I remote to this machine? Let's say this machine. I have to configure this machine, okay? Why do I need a public IP on this one? This अगर इस पे मुझको configuration करना है, what do you think now if I put RDP from my this machine? Okay, only one machine got public IP, for example, and if I take remote from here using private IP, will I be able to take remote or not? What do you think? क्या लगता है इस
Yes,
बारे में
we
आपको?
can.
Yes, you will.
yes, we
Look
can.
at this. See, आप एक वर्चुअल मशीन के अंदर से दूसरा वर्चुअल मशीन का ही ले सकते हो. You have that liberty. Why? Because they are in same subnet. They are
VNet.
in same VNet, different subnet but same VNet. Got it? You can do that. Avoid करना है तो आप जो ये भी कर लो, किसी को बोल दो. Okay, so now let's go ahead and log into our NVA, which is going to be our router, network virtual appliance. Very first thing I'm going to do on all of them, it's turn off the firewall because I won't even come to know where it is blocking, whether it is being blocked at the OS level. या मेरे configuration में कुछ issue है, and unnecessarily I'll be wasting time on that. So it's always a best practice while practicing. Turn off the firewall. वैसे normally भी I have told you OS का firewall कोई use नहीं करता है. It's very uh, naive for them when it comes to production. This is very basic. It has features, etc. So if you want a good firewall, you'll always go ahead with. To be very honest, Azure firewall, it's very huge topic, very costliest resource, and frequently asked Azure firewall, which we are going to do after this. But honestly बताऊं तो उसको भी यूज करते मैंने नहीं देखा. In my whole experience, I have never seen people using Azure firewall उतना डिटेल में. I have seen 1 or 2 clients, but इतना डिटेल में नहीं. Firewall के लिए they will trust companies which are dedicated to firewall. For example, FortiGate, Palo Alto, they will use the hardware of firewall, etc. Right? But still, we should know. Just because they are not using doesn't mean we should not know, because interview में definitely आता है firewall के questions, which I'm going to cover now, by the way, कि क्या questions होने वाले हैं और how to answer them, which are the frequently asked questions when it comes to firewall and bastion. So today I am planning to finish these two topics. एक बार ये हो जाए, because UDR we are going to use in our firewall as well. Hence, it is important for you guys to understand how this works. So what am I doing now? I'm going on all three machines and I'm simply just, as of now, what am I doing? I'm turning off the firewall, OS level firewall. We are not talking about Azure firewall yet. We haven't discussed anything, so don't get confused. OS level का ये कर लिया. Now this is my, I hope you guys can see it. Is it readable, guys? My screen, is it readable to all of you? I don't want to
Yeah.
enlarge more, because if I uh, zoom in more or enlarge it, so what will happen? Uh, all these three will not be on same window. So from here, if I check the IP address here, 10.0.2.4, right? If I ping 10.0.2.4, am I able to ping, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Let's see so connectivity is there. Now let's see the route. Tresut is the command, which is a short form of trace the route. So tresut is the command. So when I do tresut to this machine, that okay, I'm able to ping to 10.0.2.4, but how am I going? What are the hops between? Do I see any hops in between?
No.
No, I'm going directly here. This is my destination and I'm directly on the destination, right? Now imagine these are two different companies. These are client machines and these are vendors. I'm a bank. मेरे यहाँ पर 50 server है, and I have hired some vendor, some other IT company, small IT company, and their users, they log into these servers and do some changes, or for any reason, could be any reason, there is some communication between these two subnets. Now we are playing only with one machine, right? Imagine there are 1,000 servers here on these subnets, or at least 250 servers here and 250 servers here. So there is continuous communication between source to destination, right? And I want to be make sure that I monitor, at least I monitor that, or I have some control over that. कि ठीक है, यहाँ से see pinging, what is the pinging mean? It means I'm sending a packet. So when I can send this packet, I can send some virus also, I can send some some malware also, right? Some ransomware also. किसी भी तरह का कुछ भी पैकेट भेजा जा सकता है. So I want to have a control over that. I'm saying connectivity should be there, that is okay, but there should be some there should be some sort of control over that. What I can do, I can come here on this firewall, or on this NSG I can control that as well. NSG पे तो बहुत small level पे होगा. On firewall I can do it on a big level, not Azure firewall, guys. Okay, whenever I want to specify Azure firewall, I will say Azure firewall. If I'm saying firewall, so I'm talking about basic firewall. It could be OS or third party, right? Don't get confused, because today is the day when we are going to do UDR, Bastion, and Azure firewall. So don't get confused. If I'm saying firewall, I simply mean firewall, not Azure firewall. Right? So I can control that on the firewall level itself. But I said I have 250 machines. So is it a feasible idea कि मैं सब पे जाकर ये करूं? It's a best idea that I get the traffic routed from here to here from some network virtual appliance, और इस virtual appliance पे मैं सारी settings कर दूं कि ये टाइप का ट्रैफिक जाना चाहिए, ये ब्लॉक होना चाहिए, इसका नेटवर्क मोमेंट कैप्चर होना चाहिए, इसमें मैं वायर सैक इंस्टॉल कर दूं. सो आई शुड नो किसने कितनी डेटा ट्रांसफर किया, कितनी कनेक्टिविटी है, राइट? आई नो माय क्लाइंट, माय वेंडर टू whom आई हैव हायर्ड, दे डू नॉट हैव एनी बिजनेस ऑन माय सर्वर्स जहां से वो मेरा 2-4 GB का डेटा कॉपी करे. I have just hired them for patching. I have just hired them for them to basic maintenance of my servers. So I want to put a rule on my router that whenever I see a data transfer more than 500 MB, there should be an alert or there should be a stop. ये सारी चीजें मैं अपने राउटर पे कर सकता हूँ, बट फॉर दैट आई विल हैव टू मेक श्योर कि सारा ट्रैफिक मेरे राउटर से होकर जाए, राइट? देन इट कम्स टू पिक्चर आर UDR. So now let's go ahead and do UDR, route tables. Is this clear, guys? Why would we use it?
Yes.
Yes, no, maybe. Any questions, any doubts?
Yes, yes, sir.
So here I'm creating a UDR. I'm going to take same resource group. That is not a necessity. Region is a necessity. So all our machines are in West US 3, I guess. I'm just calling it as UDR practical. You can leave this one. It's okay. That comes into picture when my traffic is coming from uh, on-prem as well. So as of now, I'm just creating the UDR. Just because I create a UDR, does it mean anything? No. I will have to create the routes as well, right? Just UDR बना देने से कुछ नहीं होगा. So let me create the routes. Once this is done, once the UDR is done, I'll create the routes. So this is being deployed. Okay. Meanwhile, we can have a look at this again if you guys want any doubt, any questions. So here I have the resource is ready, right? So let's go to UDR, and here we can create the routes, right? Can you see routes? Okay, now look at this. What is the scope of UDR, guys? Where do we assign the UDR? Can I assign it to NIC level? Can I assign it to VNet level?
Subnet and Nick.
Subnet level. No, NIC पे नहीं होता है. It's your NSG which goes to NIC and subnet. UDR only on subnet. Okay, don't get confused, guys. The route name I'm saying via NVA. Anything you can give. Now, what is the destination address? In this case, I have IP address, right? Do I have a CIDR range? No. In this particular practical I'm talking about. So I clearly know that my all traffic is going to this destination. What is the IP address? 10.0.2.4.
10.0.2.4.
Right? I can have range, etc. ये सब हमने देखा है. But as of now, I just want this one. And if I want only one IP, what should be the CIDR? Because this is not going to take without CIDR range.
32.
32.
32.
So now only one address. Now next hop address. What should be the next hop? Is it a virtual network gateway? No. Is it a virtual network? No. It's an internet? No.
Virtual appliance.
It's a virtual appliance, right? What is the virtual appliance IP address? So now let's go ahead and check this IP address. This will be, I think, 1.4. Yes, 10.0.1.4. Added. So just because I have added the route, is it going to start working? Now, if I do the trace route, will it go from my router? No, still not. Why not?
Mapping.
Yes.
Mapping
We have
configuration.
created that in isolation. Now my this machine doesn't know कि वहां पे कोई UDR वगैरह नाम की चीज भी है. So what I have to do, I have to assign this to some subnet. Now this is the reason I took 3 different subnets. We could have done that on one subnet as well, but इसमें confusion बहुत हो जाता. So here I will clearly assign it to my source subnet. Destination पे यहाँ पर कोई आने का सेंस ही नहीं है, ठीक है? मैं I'm not bothered about destination से यहाँ क्या आ रहा है. Forget it. I'm not bothered about that. सोर्स से जाते हुए हर ट्रैफिक जो है मुझको मॉनिटर चाहिए. इफ आई वांट दैट, वो वाला भी हो सकता है, उस पर सेम भी यूडीआर आप लगा सकते हो. ठीक है, विल सी दैट लेटर. दिस इज डन. नाउ डू यू थिंक इट शुड वर्क?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's see. First thing, let's see if it is pinging. So I'll ping this one. Is it pinging, guys?
Yes. Pinging.
Is it?
No,
Look
no,
at this.
No, timeout.
It's
timeout
timeout,
error message.
right? Now, but that wasn't my concern. As of now, my concern was to check whether my practical it's done or not. Which practical? Tracer practical. So let's have a look at that. So if I do the trace set and hit, it is taking some time. Again, it is not working, right? Why not? Because it is just a router. As of now, it is simple router, right? Just because we named it as a network virtual appliance, is it going to work as a network virtual appliance? No.
No.
So we have to configure. So two configurations we have to do when it comes to router. Okay, let's see. Where is it going? See, first thing, connection is dropping. Now we want to see kahan drop ho raha hai, right? So let's say where is it dropping? Meanwhile, I was saying to turn this virtual machine as a router, there are two settings, one at the OS level, one at the portal level. We have only 3 minutes left. I'll finish the portal level first. OS level we can do once we are back. So portal level, it's very small. You just have to go to that machine, whichever machine you are planning to use as a router. So this is the machine, right? This is our virtual network router NVA. Go to networking settings. This I have already given, guys. Okay, steps I have already given. Still, if you want, you can write it down, whatever you want. Click on NIC. And do you see this? Enable IP forwarding. Do you remember while doing the VNet pairing as well, I told you that IP forwarding should be enabled, then only the forwarded traffic will work, right? Because now the request which is coming to this machine, it's just not its own generated traffic. It is generated from this machine, right? अगर यहाँ से यहाँ ping होता ना, ये अभी भी चल जाएगा directly. But now the traffic is coming from here and it wants to go to here. Hence, this is a forwarded traffic for this machine. So have we ever mentioned to this machine that you should send the forwarded traffic to next hop? No, we have not.
No.
So to do that, we are going over there and we are enabling the IP forwarding. You have to do that. Click on apply. Now, just because you have done that, it doesn't mean you will start pinging. Why? Because again, your router doesn't know how to do the configuration, right? Your router doesn't know. So now we have to, your OS doesn't know how to act as a router. So now we will go ahead and use some command, not commands actually, some basic settings and make sure this router is working, make sure this virtual machine is working as a router. But we have only 1 minute left, so I don't want to start it right now. We'll do it in next session. So you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll stop the session and start it immediately.
तो सोहेल भाई ये रिक्वेस्ट टाइम आउट बार बार पिंग क्यों कर रहा है ऐसा?
Because it is not reaching anywhere. ये
अच्छा.
इसका अभी जो ट्रैफिक है ना, हमने इसका राउट बदल दिया ना, एंड दैट राउट इज
हम्म.
अननोन. ये रिक्वेस्ट को एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं कर पा रहा है. ये जो आपका मशीन है which wants to act as a
हाँ.
router, अभी रिक्वेस्ट को एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं कर पा रहा है. Hence it is not
ठीक.
going anywhere. It is as good as I'm pinging some random number जिसका कोई किसी को पता नहीं है.
डेस्टिनेशन ही नहीं.
Yes. डेस्टिनेशन तो बाद में आएगा. नेक्स्ट हॉप भी नहीं चल रहा है because next hop अभी राउटर जैसा एक्ट ही नहीं कर रहा है. Okay, so guys, let me disconnect this session and we can connect using the same link without any break. Okay, so let's do that.
Okay.